Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to another BoshNRoll video. Today I'm playing Vintage, and this is at the request of Patreon subscriber Jacob, and Jacob has me playing 2-card Monte. So the way 2-card Monte works is you are a combo deck that's trying to assemble one of the many 2-card combos in the deck. The first of which I'm going to talk about, Leyline of the Void with Helm of Obedience. So Helm of Obedience is X tap, target opponent mills a card, then repeats this process until a creature or X cards have been put into their graveyard, whichever comes first. If cards don't go into their graveyard, then they will mill forever. So you pay 1, tap this, and they never mill, or they mill 1, but no card ever hits the graveyard, and you exile their deck for 1 mana. So that's one of the combos in the deck. We even get to supplement it with Modern Horizons 2 new banger Dauthi Voidwalker, which is a black 3/2 with shadow, and it has all of the text of Leyline of the Void on it. If a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, instead exile it. But this time, you get to put a void counter on it, and you can tap and sack a Dauthi Voidwalker to choose an exiled card with a void counter on it, and you may cast it this turn without paying its mana cost. So, got a little extra going on here. And this is just a 3/2 that can beat down and pressure planeswalkers, or if we have to pivot onto some sort of beatdown plan. There's a lot going on here, and I like that we get to try it in this shell. The other combo in the deck, Painter's Servant, turn everything the same color. Grindstone, target player mills 2. If those 2 cards share a color, repeat the process. So if you paint their whole deck the same color, this will deck them. So we got mill your whole deck here, exile your whole deck here, exile your whole deck here. And this framework that I found for the deck was playing Time Twister and Wheel of Fortune anyway, as like draw 7s to try to assemble their combos. So I threw in a Hull Breacher. What the heck? So that's another 2-card combo. You'll have 7 fresh cards in your hand and 7 new treasures to cast those spells with, and your opponent will be hellbent. Plus, Hull Breacher is a perfectly playable card on its own. So we've got a little taste of 3/2 beatdown, disruptive 3/2s, got a little hate bear action here, but they both also feed combos in Time Twister and Helm of Obedience. And then Painter's Servant combos with the Pyroblast that are also just good in Vintage anyway. You paint everything blue, and this becomes a 1-mana counterspell / Vindicate split card. And around it, you see all of the broken restricted cards you'd expect. We got all the fast mana, Lotus, the Moxen, Soul Ring, Ancestral Recalls here. Demonic Consultation, if you have one of the A's and need to find the B, Demonic Consultation will get you where you need to go. Vampiric Tutor does the same thing, and Defense Grid to protect you from all of it. And the really cool thing about this deck is that it's a 5-color deck, but you still get to play Mishra's Workshop because Helm of Obedience is a 4-mana artifact, so that's a tough one to get onto the stack sometimes. Painter and Grindstone are both artifacts, so you get at least part of each of the combos is castable with Mishra's Workshop. Urborg turns it into a swamp, so you can cast normal spells with it, including Dauthi Voidwalker. Then we got this 5-color mana base around it. Another, I guess, 1-card combo is we have Tinker for Bolas's Citadel. That's a thing the deck can do, and then just start casting spells, see where we go. Karn the Great Creator, which can wish for Grindstone, Helm of Obedience, and you guessed it, Painter's Servant. So Karn ties the room together as well. Every part of this deck is just working to get to some combo, and hopefully they all line up in the correct sort of way. And what I really like about this build compared to like traditional mono black builds is that with this 5-color mana base, we actually get a sideboard and we get to cast spells. Like we have Nature's Claim, Lightning Bolt, Ancient Grudge, Toxic Deluge, Containment Priest, and Balance. These are all powerful cards that we just get to play because we have this crazy mana base. So let's hope this works. Let's check it out and hopefully assemble the combos in the right order. I'm on the play in round number 1, and I have been fortunate enough to be blessed with a 0-mana hand. I'm going to ship it. Oh, baby. Bonus said good luck in the chat. Good luck to you too. I'm going to keep this and send one of these ley lines to the bottom. Wham. Well, there's that. Let's hope that's good. There's a lot of vintage decks that just beats on its own, but we'll find out if this is one of them. I'm playing around Wasteland a little bit here by protecting my Tomb. By not leading on Tomb, it means that if I top deck Workshop, I don't get to jam. But I think playing around Wasteland makes some sense in the blind in this format. Alright, so I have the turn 3 win here. And they are a blue deck of some variety. So we'll see what happens. But I can shove this one on the stack. If they counter it, I can shove the second one on the stack. Pyroblast and Flusterstorm are a lot of the main deck counterspell options in Vintage because of what sort of spells people generally cast. So artifacts are basically Force of Will or Bust, at least in the main deck. Ooh, a nice new Old Border Scalding Tarn. So pretty. I'm not looking forward to assembling those in real life. All right, 4 mana, what do we got? Dak Vaden. Alright. That is not the worst. They're gonna do some card selection. So this Leyline of the Void is keeping their Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time at bay, at the very least. This is probably also a Mystic Sanctuary deck that we've got under control. So we've got a few angles covered here. The bad news is that they have selected a lot of cards that could interact with, or that could find Force of Will. Discarded another Tarn and a Lightning Bolt. Pyroblast is probably my best draw. I mean, that's true most of the time. Just another land. Alright. On the stack you go. Show me the first Force of Will, and then I'll try to power through the second one. Alright, Force of Negation is in this deck. So they have more than the normal 4 Force of Wills. Not super surprising, but I did get a 2-for-1 there. I'll take it. Now they're going to DAC again to continue their selection. Oh, bummer. Yeah, trying to power through was my plan, and Ancestral Recall is exactly the type of card that makes that extremely difficult. I mean, Dak was already doing a good job selecting cards, but we are putting them on Force or Bust again. So they are going to be 21 cards into their deck and playing at least 5 forces. If you're playing 5 forces, you can expect to see one every 12 cards. Ooh, Urza Saga. I love this card so much. I got to play with it a little bit in Modern already, and really excited to brew with this basically as long as I can. Not that I necessarily think it's bannable. Probably not in Legacy or Vintage, but maybe in Modern. I don't know. But this card was extremely powerful with the opportunities I've had to play with it so far. Go check out my Modern Affinity video. It came up earlier this week, by the way, if you want to see this card just flexing. Right, so a DAC activation. We discarded Dragon Rage Channeler and a second Urza Saga. Alright, they are on a brew over there. That Channeler's interest... Well, I guess it would have been a 1-1 forever. Yeah, Leyline of the Void is shutting down a lot of low-key stuff here. It's not as sexy as when, like, Dredge just concedes to you, but it is... Leyline of the Void does have implications against most Vintage decks, at least a little bit. So they just saw my Helm. Either they have the Force or they don't at this point. They know exactly what they gotta beat. This would be a great turn to draw Pyroblast, because I'll have the mana available to blast and the mana to... Oh, jeez. Alright. Oh, that's so sick. I'm so jealous of their deck. But yeah, it's time to draw Pyroblast. Time Twister. I mean, that one's not bad. I'm going to make the play that I have available to me. If one of these cards gets countered... I mean, I either win or I get to reset the game next turn. But I imagine Dak will loot away Pyroblast if they draw one. So that's a little bit of a relief. That I don't have to worry about like turning on a dead Pyroblast. Because I don't think they'll have one come the time that it matters. So here's the Dak activation. Unless they're on just like a super genius brain level and they've read the oh geez, Furies in this deck too. So many cool cards. Yeah, if they soul read that the Gemstone Mine could represent Time Twister and they're holding back a Pyroblast, but I don't think they would have discarded this, 3/3 double strike that they could cast if they over Pyroblast if they had the choice. Though this game definitely looks bad from here. Ooh, one other avenue that I had not considered is they might be slow rolling Pyroblasts because their plan is to DAC Emblem and then they can steal all my stuff with Pyroblasts. So that might be a reason to keep that card in your hand. Oh no, not another standstill. Not like this. Oh, Dress Down. This is just the Modern Horizons 2 sampler platter and I love it. I suspect a Dreadnought's coming my way right now. Like, what else are you doing with this Dress Down? Yeah, there's one of them. You have more than one? Oh, and Standstill, my god. This is gross. An absolute kicking. Well, I think I want to save my land drop and just hope that this works. Because if it doesn't, I lose. I guess the Standstill had 3 looks. Yeah, we're dead. GG. Oh, wow. It is as if my opponent opened up a set of Modern Horizons 2 in a treasure chest and just put it all in the deck. And I'm here for it, honestly. Alright, so Ancient Grudge and Nature's Claim both seem good. If I need to beat a Dreadnought, then Containment Priest can stop a Dreadnought from arriving off of Urza Saga. But if they dress down, then I guess with the way that layers work, if Containment Priest comes into play after the dress down, I still get to do it. I think. I feel like that's a true statement, though. I mean, I'm not even entirely sure, honestly. I think that the Citadel is not reliable here. And Tinker is still good because it gets the Helm or the Painter or the Grindstone as needed. I like Pyroblast. I don't think I like Lightning Bolt. What else is not so good? I expect that they'll probably have Null Rods or similar. They've seen Time Twister now, but I do still like it. The defense grid's really important. I do like having the beatdown plan. Like if I could just attack that DAC a few times, would have been a different story. Can I cut Karn? Do I want to cut Karn? Is that something... Like, it is just like a big clunky spell, but my deck is full of those. I guess Karn is probably better than Helm, but Helm wins the game immediately. Yeah, sideboarding is tough because everything interlocks in some sort of important way. Maybe Demonic Consultation can go. Alright, this is what I'm doing. I have no idea if it's right, but here we go. So I'm on the play here with a turn 1 Hull Breacher. That looks pretty good. I'm going to keep. So I can go Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Academy, Hull Breacher. They can't force some negation this. Alright, Hull Breacher's in. No cards for you. And they might have kept in Pyroblast. They could have Lightning Bolt. I don't know. They could also dress down, and my Hull Breacher loses its abilities. Oh, a really cool thing is that dress down, when it enters the battlefield, dress down, you draw a card, but Hull Breacher will have lost its abilities by then, so dress down just completely ignores Hull Breacher. It's pretty cool. The bad news is that after this Hull Breacher, my hand basically doesn't function in any way. I have blue and colorless mana for this red-green card and this Helm with no leyline. But the good news is Hull Breacher is really good. So we'll see how this balances out. Oh, they just had the Reb. Sure. All right. You got me. This would be a great time to draw. What would it be a great time to draw? A red land, red source. Oh, or another uncastable card. That's cool too. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will get this Helm into play if I can. And then if I draw Urborg, we have a win out of nowhere. And if they have DAC or like some removal spell for this, I can just zap it. Like maybe I'll steal a Dreadnought or something. I don't know. Uh-oh, it's time to dress down. So I have a feeling that we're about to get Dreadnoughted. Okay, so Urborg off the top. Oh, Jesus, this deck is so good. Maybe I need to helm them for 5 and try to hit a Dreadnought on my own. I think that is my best chance to win this game. So helm for 5. Give me that Dreadnought. Missed entirely, got nothing. So now it's time to draw Urborg and also somehow survive. And my thing has to resolve. I won the flip, so I might get another turn. So I can helm for another large chunk of mana. So I do technically get another untap step. So they attack me to 2 here. I think I should helm for another 5. Let's try to get in there. I don't know what creatures they have in their deck. Let's go. None. Okay. I'm at 2, so I can't tap my Ancient Tomb. I can't lose my Mana Crypt flip. I gotta draw exactly Urborg. And I'm gonna take 1 from this because I have to. All right, let's win the flip. Oh, I lost the flip. I'm dead. Was I drawing exactly Urborg? Nope. Alright. GG's. I have won the die roll for round number 2. And I have a turn 1 Karn here. That's pretty good in a lot of vintage matches, so I'm going to keep it. What is this Karn going to do? Probably just wish for Tormod's Crypt if it resolves. And I think I want to lead on Confluence, because in general I think having more lands around longer is going to be more important than specifically saving life points. Most vintage decks are going to kill you or they're not. So being at 19 versus being down a land on turn 4, I think leading on Confluence makes more sense. Now it's time to hope they're just a deck that does not have Force of Will and does die to Karn. Bam, Black Lotus on the stack. I'm going to play around Mindbreak Trap by not playing my Mox Emerald first. Here's Karn. Daze isn't really a vintage card. It shows up sometimes. Also, we're on the play, so we don't need to worry about that. They had the Force. Pitching Ancestral Recall. Oh, baby. That was not a cheap one. They are a blue deck, so I'm going to pass playing around Mindbreak Trap still. I don't think I need to worry about Chalice of the Void or a Sphere harassing my Mox. I'm more worried about Dak stealing it. But they would have pitched Dak if they had it. Like, Ancestral had to be the only blue card in their hand. That's the only thing that makes any sense. Alright, well, I can get this Helm into play. Just sit it there. That, again, doesn't play around Mindbreak Trap, but they would have pitched that if they had it, so it's time to Helm. Like, I don't think they have Trap. I don't think they have Dak. Just Ancestral Recall. If you have any other blue card, you don't pitch that. Alright, and Helm is in. No surprise there. We'll see if it sticks around. This is the part where I hope they're Oath, and I just get to like helm them every turn, and maybe steal a random creature. Alright, Academy. Alright, they did have a Pearl. Okay. It's starting to look like Paradoxical Outcome, perhaps. Oh yeah, we're getting tinkered here. That's a blue card you might pitch Ancestral over. So there's a good chance we lose here. They did already make their land drop, but they do have a shuffle. So if they get Bolas's Citadel, they need to like run a runner lands to run out of gas. Oh, that's weird. I hate that. They must have Dogwill. Oh, that's very strange. Did they draw the Citadel this turn? That's a relief. This gives me a lot of room to chill here. And I think I am just going to start spewing off Helm activations on them. Even stealing something like Lavinia is probably good for me. Maybe I should just do it main phase. If they do have Lavinia or Hull Breacher or anything like that, I would prefer it in play on my turn. Yeah, so I'm going to helm them for 3 and leave up Gemstone Mine for Pyroblast. That's my plan. I also just had a thought. That Black Lotus is alphabetically right next to Bolus's Citadel. This could have been a misclick. Because your deck is sorted alphabetically on Magic Online when you're searching it. Just pop one of these, see what happens. The helm only sacrifices if you actually do hit a creature, like we saw last round. So just milled 3. If they are setting up a Yogg-Will, that might be a huge mistake. But the upside of hitting Lavinia, or like, I doubt they have a Blightsteel Colossus in the main. That's not really what these decks do anymore. They tinkered for the Lotus so they could cast it at all in the next turn. That makes sense. Alright, so they shuffled immediately. Must have had a counterspell on top, because they still have their land drop. Helm's a little awkward, because it could clear cards they don't want. Yeah, they can draw 1 card. I'm not going to fight over that. And Preordain off the top as well. Yeah, we are in some trouble. Bolus's Citadel being a black card, and not having the Pyroblast the turn before for the Tinker. We are playing a very awkward deck, like, in case that wasn't clear. Like, we are doing something memey, and it takes some weird deck building choices to get there. So, we are... Every other vintage deck we play against is probably going to be more focused. Vamp Tutor. This is probably going to tutor for Yogg-Will. And then they will, and they get Lotus, Opal, etc., everything out of the bin. And if their life total goes too low, I can Lightning Bolt them. But they can Force a Will out of the bin at this point, too. Yeah, these are all cards I gave them off of my helm. My plan backfired. Yeah, Vampiric Tutor in combination with Bolus's Citadel is pretty messed up. Like, at any point, they can just, like, go get Flusterstorm and cast it. So, I have no aspirations of winning this game. I just want to see what their win condition is. Like, are they going to mentor me? Do they actually have a Tendrils? Like, these are things that I'm slightly interested in knowing. Oh, they Mysticaled for Ponder. That seems like pretty low impact, all things considered. Oh, Sedgemoor Witch, that's a good one. Alright. That makes some sense. Sedgemoor Witch does mercifully only trigger off instants and sorceries. It's not the full Monastery Mentor treatment. So these artifacts are not triggering it. Wait, they Mystical Tutored for Ponder, didn't cast it, and then Vamp Tutored for something different? That's weird. Mistakes were made. And a Crypt. Are they going to tinker here? Or they have a Time Walk in the bin as well. If I can get let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They don't have enough permanents yet to sacrifice for Bolus's Citadel. Like, they can gain a bunch of life. By sacking 10 pests, they gain 10 life. So that is a line to just reload and try again. The outcome, this one I'm going to fight over. They have a Force Will in the graveyard. If their hand has a blue card in it, they can pitch out of the graveyard, and then they cast Time Walk, and they should be able to win from there. Yeah, the PO's countered, but they don't even care. It's Time Walk, attack for 7, and then sack 10 permanents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they just need to generate 1 additional permanent, and I'm dead. Alright. And I can't tap my Mana Confluence anymore. Yeah, I'm dead. Overpowered by combo. Drew that Pyroblast in the wrong order. If we could have hit the Tinker, I think we've got a play there. Also, if that card resolves, the game is over. So, a lot going on there. I like the balance. I like the Mindbreak Trap. Don't think I want Toxic Deluge. I like Ancient Grudge. Nature's Claim is alright. Don't love Lightning Bolt. What else is not so good? I don't really like Voidwalker in this matchup. It's just sort of hard to cast and not super important. Defense Grid's awkward because letting them have free reign is bad, but also, like, they have a bunch of counterspells of their own. So I'm going to keep it in, especially on the play. I'm willing to run that. And then, do I cut a Helm? Like, I have ways to tutor for it, and Karn. Yeah, I think just playing it like this makes some sense. This is my plan. In we go. I'm on the play with a defense grid hand. This is so freaking close. Like, one colored source of any kind away from, but this is not a keep as it stands. This is a turn 1 Hull Breacher if I want it. I think I keep this hand and bottom a Painter. Yeah, that makes sense. And then Ruby, Crypt, Mine. I'm gonna pass because Outcome eventually wants to draw cards. Like, there's a good chance they just go land Preordain to kick this off. And I don't know if they'd expect Hull Breacher after what they saw last turn. So if they play another Mox, alright, I don't care about Time Walk. Like, if we can get to a point, if they go like Mox Preordain Force of Will, then I can Mindbreak Trap their Force of Will on Hull Breacher. Okay. Moment of truth. Who's winning this game? Wish I had the Pyroblast to go with this. Oh, Hull Breacher resolved. Give me those treasures. Pay me. That was messed up. Feels good, man. God, I hope they Pyroblast this after it already resolved. Demonic Tutor. They've only cast 2 spells, right? Yeah, alright. Resolves. So I can't... They're probably wishing for either a removal spell for Hull Breacher or a way to overpower it. But with all these treasures, I can hardcast Mindbreak Trap pretty easily. Maybe I'll just draw a Grindstone and win the game. That's even better. Because they clearly don't have a counterspell, or this wouldn't be in play. Though this could be anything. Literally, just whatever they want it to be. Though I don't think you Demonic Tutor for Force of Will once Hull Breacher's already in play. There's also not a red source among their things, so the best answer in the format is Pyroblast, which they do not currently have access to. And, ooh. I could Consultate for Grindstone. So they didn't have a counterspell last turn. So Painter, Consultation, Grindstone, activate Grindstone. I have exactly enough mana to do all this shit. How many Grindstones are actually in my deck? I think it's 2, or do I play 3? In the main. It's 2. So pretty good chances to hit one. Alright, let's try it. Demonic Consultation for Grindstone. If they're both in my top 6 cards, I lose the game. But if they're not, I win the game. I guess they could have Mental Misstep. I haven't done anything that would allow for a misstep. But if they do have misstep, I hope they target this with it and not the Grindstone. I could swing for the fences and just name Wheel or a Time Twister, but naming a one of. So the way Demonic Consultation works, you choose a card, exile your top 6 cards, and then reveal cards from your library until you reveal the chosen card and put it in your hand. Exile everything that's revealed. So if you name a restricted card and it's in your top 6, you're done. Or you name a one of. So I'm going to name Grindstone and just hope I'm not dead. Okay, 18 cards were exiled. Grindstone, get in. Okay, yeah, Wheel was in my top 6 cards. Painter. With these treasures to pay off. Yes, we're doing vintage things. Okay. Turn 1 Hull Breacher is pretty good. Tell your friends. Didn't have to reveal the Mindbreak Trap either. They did see a big chunk of my deck with the Consultation, but the jig is up anyway. Like, they saw the Helm game 1, they saw the Painter game 2. They know I'm on Monte. I think this is still the best deck I can present. Right back in. So this is a pretty strong hand on the draw for game number 3. I can workshop out Painter and Sensei's top. And then on the next turn, I don't know, shop actually kind of sucks here. I can Ancient Tomb out top and spin it, and then maybe Karn on turn 2. We'll see what my draw step brings, but I'm not going to mulligan this. Karn is an extremely powerful card. Well, now they know I don't have any counterspells. If they have some sort of turn 1, they can go ahead and exert themselves. Gitaxian Probe is a messed up card. Remember when you could just play 4 of that in formats? Just like standard, modern, legacy, vintage. You just do that 4 times. Get perfect information, pay 2 life. That's a good deal. Underground Sea. Oh, they had the Ancestral. Come on with that. And the good news is Karn is still like a 1 card win against their deck, but they did just draw a lot of cards, and they're working on perfect information. Hopefully they just go to discard here. Didn't find a Mox. Dump your shit. Alright, they found a Mox. They did have one. And Pithing Needle, that's probably going to name top, would be my guess. Because the Karn's more important thing is the Null Rod effect. And it is nice to be able to activate Karn. Oh wow, alright, they did name Karn. So they're already planning for a world where Karn is in play. I think an opponent who has Force Will in their hand doesn't do that. So how does this work? How do I get the mana that I need here? Workshop effectively taps for nothing next turn. It can cast the second Painter, I guess. I could Ancient Tomb, top, and spin it. And then next turn, or I could Workshop. Then I have 3 mana next turn if I Workshop. This is not great, no matter how you slice it here. I think top, spin it, try to find a Mox makes some amount of sense. Like, that's what gets Karn into play next turn. Yeah, I can't even spin top with Workshop mana. It's only to cast artifact spells. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the top and hope they don't have Mental Misstep. Okay, let's find Mindbreak Trap. Oh god. And Pyroblast isn't the worst. That starts to set up a slower game. Like, I can cast Painter off of Ancient Tomb next turn, paint everything blue, then I'm holding up Pyroblast, and then I have turn 3 Karn. So I suspect that's going to be too late. If their hand does anything, like if they go land Paradoxical Outcome, we're done. Ugh. That's bad. Yeah, being on the draw here. I think on the play, maybe we get to do stuff. But yeah, being on the draw with a deck without Force of Will, I mean, welcome to Vintage. Yeah, outcome picking up 4 things. We're off to the races. The Vintage metagame, historically, like shops in the history just farmed combo, but Paradoxical Outcome was the combo deck that showed up that could finally beat shops. Just had a great shops matchup. They have the Snapcaster. Snap PO is so fucked because you get to pick up your Snapcaster also and just refire every PO twice for the rest of the game. I have no aspirations of winning this game, but I guess it is possible that they whiff. But finding that Snap and the Mox, like at the very least, they can replay some of those Mox and Snap Ancestral to keep the party going. Also, if they just find a PO, they can Snap Vamp Tutor, put another PO on top, then PO pick up the Snapcaster, draw the second PO, and then that's 4 more POs. So they made their land drop, and it wasn't Academy, which is kind of weird. Like, are they gonna cast a black spell? But they had Opal for black mana. Yeah, generally I would not make my land drop until I know I'm not gonna play Academy this turn. I feel like they could probably draw a lot of cards still. And they're spending mana on spinning a top right now. That's weird. What are you doing with those 10 cards in your hand? Snapcaster, Ancestral. Okay, so they looked at their top 3 cards, and then they're going to draw those 3 cards. That seems like the opposite order that you'd normally want to do that in. It certainly looks like they're slowing down. Okay, JK, they had Time Walk. Another Opal. Is stuff still happening? Just needling. If they needle top, they also turn off their own, which is, not nothing. They named Karn again with Pithing Needle. Storm is 21, by the way. We're dead to Grape Shot. Dead to Chatterstorm. They discarded Tinker. That's terrifying. Like, they know that any spell they're going to cast is going to resolve because they've seen my hand, and they just did that turn that without being disrupted and discarded Tinker anyway. They must have Citadel in hand. Yep, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mystical Tutor. For out, yeah, alright. Okay. I believe it. I believe him. We're dead now. We were dead last turn. Just wanted to see how far it was going to go, and it went plenty far. Alright, dumpstered on the draw by a combo deck. That's going to happen. On the play, in round number 3, I have a double Leyline hand. I could also turn one a Defense Grid, and then I'm threatening a Hull Breacher. I'm going to keep this. This is like the type of thing Monte wants to do. Also, there's a chance that they're just some deck that can't beat Leyline. So here's this and this. If they counter the Defense Grid, that's actually like kind of good for me, because then my Pyroblast is back on. Now this is definitely some weird tension that my hand has 2 instants in it, and I just played Defense Grid. But it's cool. Hopefully we draw a mana source, get to breach people. Oh, they're just shops. Cool. They're going to name Helm of Obedience with this. So, them being shops, these are 2 dead cards. So is this. This is also not good. Oh, they named Mox Pearl, that's even better. Yeah, this lined up poorly. Vamp Tutor, what do you do? Well, whatever you do, you better do it now, because we're not getting another turn. I guess Vamp Tutor gets Tolarian Academy, and that at least casts spells moving forward. Yeah, if they have any additional disruption, like a Wasteland at any point, we're screwed. Oh, Fleet Wheel Cruiser. Ride or die. They just know that all their stuff gets to resolve. That's what I get for playing highly polarized cards. Yeah, I'm just going to put Hull Breacher into play as a creature to contest the board. They had the Wasteland. Alright, yeah, we're dead. I'm out. I've seen enough. Okay. Very quick game when things didn't line up well. Like I said in the last round, we were playing against the best decks in Magic the Gathering. Like, the best decks that constructed Magic the Gathering can offer. The most efficient beatdown piles. All of those things are just true and dangerous. And we are playing a goofball deck trying to assemble various 2-card combos. So Pyroblast, Defense Grid, all of the cards that were in my hand last game are just getting boarded out. Ancestral, like all these, the rest of this stuff is good. I do like the Voidwalker. I like Urborg in the matchup. Helm, Karn. Citadel's a little sketch. Like, if we do get under any sort of spear, it's a problem. But I'm bringing in all my answers to those. Shops can sometimes cast 3 spells in a turn, or we could get to the point where we hard cast this. So, is Citadel bad, is the question. And I think the answer is yes. If my Tinker resolves, it's probably going to get Helm or Painter. Alright, this is my plan. Right, I'm on the play with a turn 1 Leyline, turn 2 Twister. I can keep this. I have some mild disruption along the way. Let's see if they just waste me out here. That's not a Wasteland. I'll take it. They got their Mox. The Lotus, my god. They can do whatever they want here. Put that whole hand into play. Here it comes. But I'm just really glad they didn't Wasteland me. Whatever else happens, I'm not getting Wastelanded this turn. Cruiser, sure. That seems, I mean, in the context of things that vintage decks are capable of, this Cruiser seems pretty embarrassing. Yeah, let's put you under your own sphere. Get rid of your car. That delays my Time Twister for a turn, but that's okay. Ooh. Hello, Karn. I am gonna keep my Ancient Tomb away from any stray wastelands over there, because that's the way I'm gonna overpower the sphere. Oh, they have another 4-drop. Oh, Foundry Inspector. Alright. So their sphere no longer affects their own things. Okay, so Ruby pays for itself under sphere. I cannot put Karn into play because it costs 5. I can Time Twister, but I don't think I really want to reload their hand right now. I can use Workshop to cast Ruby. I think I like that. And yeah, that's where this party ends. I would really like to get Karn into play before I mess around with anything else. They got a shop of their own. Another sphere. You're killing me, Smalls. And this is where we die in 5-point chunks. Oh, your last card in hand is also a spell? Jeez. Okay. This is Shops doing Shops things. Though we can still win if we draw Thorn. Or not Thorn. That I was just looking at this. Helm. Helm can still win this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Helm is actually lethal off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can cast Time Twister. I don't really want to reload their hand, but I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I can't. It costs 6. Great. No, I had 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus, math is hard. Simple counting is impossible to me sometimes. Yeah, so the third sphere effect is a beating. I can cast Time Twister next turn, but it costs me 5 life to do it. Yeah, just gotta draw Helm here. That's the only, like, really reasonable course to victory. Like, I'm taking 5. If I tap my lands next turn, I take another 5, then I'm dead on board. So here come the beats. Helm. Yeah, Grindstone's not gonna do it. Ouch, deck. Yeah, this deck is not made to play through spheres at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't even cast Karn. I can twist and die on board. Dead again. Rip. Though, we could see the line where Helm would win that game. So, 1 card Monte's not good enough, though. 1 here, 1 here. If these lined up, if this was Painter or this was Helm, that's the game. But it was not. On to the next one. I'm on the draw in round number 4 with a hand that basically doesn't do anything except have Leyline of the Void. But I think that is worth doing. There's always a chance they're just Hogak and they're dead. Someday. Someday we'll spike to 0. The turn 0 victory. Okay, this Wasteland's a little weird. What card do I want to give them to the Wasteland? Feed to the Wasteland. Alright, so my Ruby can cast Pyroblast. And I have a lot of mana. Otherwise, I'll let them have the Workshop if they want to waste it. Hopefully Wasteland Go is just a sign of, like, Hogak not succeeding in doing what it wants to. Oh yeah, it's a bizarre deck. Give it to me. But here comes Hollow One and Basking Rootwalla. Ooh, Blazing Rootwalla. Even more fun. Modern Horizons 2, folks. This one only pumps on the face. Doesn't pump the butt, but it does cost 1 less mana to do that. How about a Helm deck? I am not going to run out these cards. They might have Force of Vigor. They might have Collector Oof. Usually that's in the sideboard if they have it at all, but I don't want to... I guess Force of Vigor has 2 targets anyway. Yeah, like so. Okay. Now what do I need? Now I need a draw 7. I need a wheel. Or a twister. Though the good news is we are playing against a deck that's finally susceptible to Leyline of the Void in a real way. Oh, double squee? Czar Baghdad is just a draw extra cards every turn now. Vamp Tutor. What do you do for me? You do find the thing I was looking for. The Twister. So I guess that's the plan. We vamp for Twister, untap, and hope for the best. Oh no. They got a Wasteland. So I guess that doesn't really matter. Like, I'm vamping for Twister anyway. We're gonna have totally new hands next turn. 2 squeeze with Bazaar. Pretty jealous of that. I love that. So cool. So what do they want to take me off? Urborg or Confluence? Or anything at all? Do they just want a black source in play? That's also reasonable. Gotta hope they don't play Mindbreak Trap or Force of Will. Alright, Vamp for the Twister. I think that's the best I can do. Like, I could get Bolus's Citadel, but I'm at 10. So I don't think that's the play. Yeah, I'm getting Twister. Even if they have a Force, I can answer it. So that's not the worst. All right, I'm going to play Lotus first, because if they Force of Vigor that one, I can just sack it in response. Alright, blue, blue, blue. Colorless, colorless. Let's do the twist. And giving them a fresh 7 is not exciting, but giving myself a fresh 7 is very exciting. Alright, float black on the way out from that wasteland. Now let's see if I can win the game. I have Ancestral Recall. Could do worse. Do I want to try to work this defense grid in? That would take up a lot of mana, but they do play a lot of force effects. They probably have mental missteps. So 4, 5, 6. I think I have to win this turn. Ugh. Here we go. Please resolve. Damn it. I'm an idiot. Alright, brainstorm in response to that. So 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm just dead. Should have gone with defense grid. This is vintage. I'm playing like an idiot. So is there a way to recuperate from this? If I put back the 2 confluences, that happens. And then I can play Ruby, play the defense grid. Nice job. No, I need to grind myself with my mana, so I think the chance to defense grid anything is gone. Force of Vigor is going to have 1,000 targets. Not much to do about that. And here are my cards. So I have to A, survive this turn. B, grindstone myself. C, draw really well. Had the grid, just didn't play it. Real bad. Living in a fantasy land where they don't have their mental misstep. This is vintage. Your opponent always has the restricted card that you don't want them to have. We're trying to fade Vengevine right now. There's a Vengevine. Oh, geez. So that's one creature. And do they have another creature? I'm sure they do. Yeah, Vengevine is really easy to trigger these days. 4, 8, 9, 10. That is my life total. Alright. Good chance I messed that up. I'm going to see what my next 3 cards would have been. Not that that is super important for future decision making. I'm just curious if I played it correctly. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Alright, it wouldn't have helped, but it still is correct to play around the things you can play around, I guess. Alright, Containment Priest, you're in. Citadel's been bad in every matchup. I feel like that card shouldn't even be in the deck. So Tabernacle's great in this matchup. 2 priests. I like balance. I don't think I like Deluge. I do like Grudge, because that can kill Hollow Ones. Though I do think that, like, Lightning Bolt has text on it, but I think that in a lot of cases it will be better to keep the Vengevine out of play than try to answer it once it's there. So I'm not going to cut the one I have. I'm just deciding if I want additional ones. Sensei's Top. There's not a whole lot of time for that in this matchup. I like the Karn. I like the Wheels. Hull Breacher's pretty cool against Bazaar when it has to play fair. Just like you get 2 treasures, they discard 3. Powerful stuff. A Painter. And Grid is good, but I don't think I need 3 of them. Grid is hilarious in the way that it works against Force of Vigor. It basically means they can never Force of Vigor, because they can't cast it on their turn, and they can't cast it on your turn. Oh, I get another card. I boarded out more than I brought in. When did that happen? Oh, the Citadel. I missed that one. Alright, so maybe I get to keep Sensei's Top. Or maybe I want another Bolt. They could have Collector Oof in this deck. Yeah, I'll take the other Bolt. This is my plan. I don't really like Deluge. I want to answer things more cleanly than that. That hurts. Turn 1 Dauthi Voidwalker. Keep it. Can't force a vigor this guy. You can Fury it, though. We have seen Fury in their deck. Which I suspect is probably there just to... Oh, and they have all the blue cards, too. Didn't see any of those in the first game. Voidwalk. Nice. Alright, so unlike Leyland of the Void, if they spew off on Voidwalker, I get to cast those cards. So I just get to attack for 3 here. They could ambush me with some Root Wallas, but they will have to discard cards to do that. Oh no, I have Shadow, duh. I'm over here worried about Root Wallas. There's no reason to play any of these other cards. Like, I have Ancient Grudge if they get some hollow ones into play. Until they answer Voidwalker, they can't get anything else into play. Ancient Tomb does let me cast Painter Servant. I'm not sure what color I want to paint everything. I don't think it's blue. So red, they have Fury in their deck. Blue, green. I think the answer is actually white somehow, because that's the pitch color that they're not going to have. Like, we've seen Force of Will, Misdirection, Fury, and Force of Vigor, and painting any of those colors lets them use those cards with just any, like, you could pitch a land to cast Fury, which I'm not interested in playing against. All right, Chalice of the Void and Squee. I could cast Squee for free if I want to cash in my Voidwalker. I don't think I do, just saying, but it's there. All right, there's the hollow one. I got plays for that. So, red, colorless. I'm ready. Packed it up. Dauthi Voidwalker, too good. Okay, does anything change in this sideboard? Maybe I do want Deluge, even if it hurts. Like, taking 4 is better than losing the game. I mean, that is begrudgingly true. Though I have Balanced Tabernacle. I have so many ways to do that already. Plus, I'm a combo deck that can just win through some creatures. Alright, I'm just going to refire this deck. So on the draw here, this is... does not cast any spells. I mean, I can Vamp. What does Vamp get me? I could get Academy and then Tinker for what? Because I boarded out my Citadel. Tinker gets Helm or Painter. I think in a deck full of Leylines, yeah, I want to chase them. Oh, baby. That's a keep. And I'm just going to put in... Oh, whoa. Oh, yeah, on the mulligan. Yeah, I am actually... That was an accident, but I am doing it on purpose, too. I'm going to put that on the bottom, and then I'm going to put the other one into play. The defense grid off the shop. Ooh, opponent's on 3. This is how you do it against Hogak. I'll avoid tribal here. If they have turn 1 hollow one, they could beat me down pretty easily here. Probably just going to force go to 0 cards in hand. Ooh, they didn't do that. That Black Lotus is pretty dope. Because if they force in response to this defense grid, then I can Lotus Voidwalker. And I'm not super worried about Karn. Oh, they're going right now. 2 squeeze. That was a strong Mill2. My god. Alright, it's fine. Get in there. Alright, so all their forces are off for the rest of the game. They did find 2 squeeze, so they get 1 nice juicy bizarre reload. And they gotta beat my Shadow Boy. Found a Root Walla and discarded... Oh, they discarded a hollow one. Do they have another one? Or was that a misclick? Oh, they have Fury. That kills my guy. That does it. Okay. That makes perfect sense. Wow, they powered right through that. I'm impressed. Glad they lost a hollow one to do it, but I am impressed by all of that. Now it's time to get this Karn into play, I guess. I'm suddenly way behind. Oh, JK. I'm way ahead again. Time to not play this Urborg for a while. That was an incredible sequence from my opponent. I feel a little bad that I just ripped the Tabernacle to undo it. But maybe they'll just rip Wasteland and we can keep haymakering each other. I think I actually do have to play this Urborg, even though it does make my Tabernacle worse. Because next turn I can hardcast Karn off of any land. Giving Tabernacle and Shop the ability to tap for mana is a big deal. Shit. Now I'm dying. So now they can pay. But if they ever draw Wasteland... I mean, they wouldn't target Tab with it anyway. Or wouldn't target Urborg with it. They would target Tabernacle. Ancestral Recall that I can't cast. Alright. My deck is betraying me. If I find a colored source, we get to get busy. But I am on a pretty quick clock here. Taking my beats again. The second Urborg. Okay, so what does this do? I can put Leyline into play, or I can put Karn into play. What does Karn do? It can get top. Like, I put Karn into play. Alright, so Urborg, keep the untapped one. Put Karn into play. Plus it. I can plus it to attack with Defense Grid even. Is that something I want to do? Yeah, I mean, I'm plussing it, might as well get in. Is chumping with Defense Grid make sense? Like, do I want Karn on a higher total? Okay. I want to wish for... I'm going to keep the grid around. And then over the next few turns, I can spew Karn to wish for Helm, and then play Leyline. A mana source ties the room together here. Oh, I just drew Helm all on my own. Oh, they're ignoring Karn. That's fun. So now I want to do what? I could wish for the top and start trying to fix my draws. I could get Painter's Servant to block for a turn. I think that's real bad though. Yeah, I think I want to get the top. Or over 2 turns I could wish for Painter and Grindstone. But is that... Yeah, I'm dead in 2 turns. So yeah, I actually like getting Painter. Because that makes them attack Karn. Like, if they go after Karn here, I'm going to paint everything white. Oh, I shouldn't have played that. Now I have to pay for my own Tabernacle. I've made mistakes. I should have slow rolled that. Oh, I could also play Helm off my shop. I've made a lot of mistakes here. Okay, it's fine. But now they have to attack Karn, or else I get to grind them. I've definitely made a lot of mistakes on these last turns. Gitaxian Probe. Yikes. So they see what I'm working with. Bizarre activation. Their hand is so full at this point, and there's no Leyline protecting me. Alright, there's a Root Walla. But no Vengevine. That's good news. Alright, have to attack Karn. So now the question is, do I want to chump to protect Karn? No. I just want to accept this grace off of my life total. Pay for this thing. Well, how does this work? I can 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't activate Grindstone, but I can put it into play. 4, 5. If they find a Vengevine, I lose. Yeah, I mean, I guess I just cast this freaking card. Yep, there it is. Can't activate it this turn. Hopefully they can't put extra damage into play. Oh, they do have to pay for both of these. If they want to use their Bazaar, they have to lose their Root Walla and find a Vengevine somewhere else. I guess Fury kills Painter's Servant. It's terrifying. These pitch invocations are so good. Or pitch incarnations. I think that's what they're called, not invocations. Oh, they found a Vengevine and 2 Root Wallas. I mean, I also got very lucky to get to this point, but still, it hurts. Alright, so I can chump one of the 4 power creatures to stay alive, and balance does send us at least back to parity. If I find a white source. Voidwalker. 1, 2, 3, 4. This would win the game if I cast the Helm 3 turns ago, like I was supposed to. Yeah, they can pay for 2 4-power creatures. This can't block. I don't have blue mana. I definitely messed this game up. You can use this game as a study in how to sequence and play Magic correctly, and the complexity of Vintage. Yeah, there was one turn where I just like forgot this was a workshop because my brain locked in on it's a swamp. And if this was in play, Voidwalker could come in, activate, and we're done. But it's not, and I don't have any way to get there. 3, 4 mana cast Helm, short for this. Alright, that's the game, folks. I guess there is one... No, there's not one more out. There is one out. Okay. If I play my Helm, activate it, and hit Fury, that's an out. If I hit exactly Fury off of my Helm activation. So they pay for the 2 4-power creatures on their turn, and then I kill one of them and block the other with the Fury that I'm definitely going to hit off Helm. Yes, pay for Vengevine, Root Walls die, and pay for Hollow One. I'm losing to my own Urborg here also. Important to note. Alright, swing for the fences. Come on, Fury. It was a bizarre. Alright, GG's. Wow. Definite brains short-circuiting there for a little while. Review, go back a few turns, check on that turn where I could have cast Helm, and see if there was another way through that, because, yeah, that was something. Alright, on to the final round. I'm on the play in the final round. I have a hand that can Vamp Tutor on turn 1, and do something on turn 2. Unclear what. I have a Voidwalker, and this hand is pretty medium. I'm going to keep it, though. I think leading on Gemstone Mine and being able to Vamp or Pyroblast as needed is pretty cool. Then I can, like, pivot into Voidwalker next turn if they're a deck where that's important. Alright, Ancient Tomb, Sphere of Resistance, cool. That's just what I wanted to play against. What is the... I guess I don't need to Vamp now, because 1 and 2 mana are the same thing. Because of the Mox. And I'm definitely Vamping. I didn't put this card in my deck to not cast it. Gotta figure out what we're looking for. Ancestral's pretty good. Or do I want to... I could just Tinker, but with the Sphere in play, Citadel doesn't even do anything. Maybe I Tinker for... Or I think I get Tinker, but then cast Voidwalker, and Tinker for Helm on the following turn. That makes sense. Alright, Voidwalker, let's go. Black, black, colorless. Alright, so if they take me off my colored source, my whole plan collapses, but I can, because of I have Ancient Tomb, I can 1, 2, 3, 4, I can Tinker through the Sphere and kill them next turn. Really like to put up at least one match win for this showing. We've won some cool games. We played some cool games. That last round was actually insane. Like, the fact that my opponent beat 2 Leylines and a Voidwalker and just easily won through all of that with the Fury and Dance. They had the correct color distribution, that they're actually able to pitch to 3 different color pitch spells. That was very cool. But all that said, I would like to win a match. Another Ancient Tomb. Foundry Inspector, I don't care about that. The game is over. Alright, so blue. 1, 2, 3. Tinker. Alright, we found the line, fam. Helm of Obedience. And let's get him out of here. Exile your deck. And I can play any of them. Alright, so this looks like pretty standard aggro shops, Ravager shops. They have Traxos, Trinisphere. Okay. Then I'll attack them for 3. Give them the what for. Alright. We did it. Found the line. Finally looked like a combo deck. 2-card Monte achieved. Now against shops. Ancient Grudge, Nature's Claim. I like the Lightning Bolts. Tabernacle is like hit or miss because if they have like Shop for mana or Ancient Tomb, like Shop doesn't work for Tabernacle and Ancient Tomb can like hurt them as much as it helps them, but in general I think that it's not where I want to be. Defense Grid and Pyroblast come out. Defense Grid, Pyroblast. So 6 cards come out, 5 cards come in. On the draw against shops, Mindbreak Trap isn't the worst. I could bring in the Deluge. I think that makes sense. Bolus's Citadel, unreliable, though. I would like to leave it in at least once during this league. I don't want to admit that it's just terrible, though I think that it is. This is my deck. Let's go in. So on the draw, with this hand that has no colored mana, does have a turn 1 Helm, like pretty easily through a lot of disruption. Like Chalice on 0 dumpsters my hand, but nothing else really does. But I'm not even close to cast. This is the Mox Jet at least, but I can't cast these 2 cards. Man, this is a mulligan. Ugh, this is also a mulligan. This is bad. Oh my god. I'm gonna keep this one because I don't want to go to any lower, but Brainstorm's gone. And do I want all these shops? Like, is my plan just turbo out? Like, I don't want to lose to a single Wasteland, but I'm not dead to a single Wasteland. This is fine. Like, if I draw a Helm at any point, I can cast it and activate it all in one turn. And the Mana Vault will help jump me ahead of a Sphere if I need to twist or Ancestral. We got a Mox Pearl and a 3-ball. I'm prepared for 3-ball. Life in the 3-ball world. That's actually awesome for me. Like, I can cast Lotus, and I could just do the twist right now. So this costs 3. This costs as much as it makes, so I'm obviously not going to cast it. But this does color fix. I don't love twisting shops, but compared to just losing the game, it's a pretty good deal. Yeah, having the Helm in play is nice. Or the Leyline in play. That was 7 fresh looks at Helm. I have Demonic Consultation. Redrew the Ancestral that I just got rid of. I mean, Wasteland takes me right out of the game, but if I get a turn to develop it all, it's going to be good. Oh, they had Academy. Yuck. At least it's not Wasteland. So they're developing, they spend a turn developing mana, and they do have a lot of it. Okay. A whole lot of it. There's my wheel. I could just cast wheel. Does that do anything for me, though? I can't cast, I guess I have to spend a turn developing my Moxen because I can't cast my spells, my other spells off of Workshop. Yeah, this Trinisphere is turning out to be pretty good. Who knew? Trinisphere is a good card. Now this is where we hope that all their hand has is mana, and that they didn't just invest in the future last turn, they just didn't have anything else to do, but that seems pretty unlikely. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They have 16 mana right now. Now it's 17. Can they just combo blast me from 20? Do they have 4 of these cards? Ugh. My Sapphire. That might be an argument to have led on Pearl. But so I can make my land drop. Like, I'm taking 5 here. I'm just going to map this out, assuming they're never going to do anything else that matters. Even though if they do, I lose. But so I can play Pearl off of Academy next turn. And then Consultation for Helm. And then Helm them out. Okay, I do have a 2-turn path to victory here. Oh, they named Helm. Okay, they didn't even name the Mox. That makes more sense. I no longer have a 2-turn path to victory. Gotta find something else. This feels like a Stone Coil Serpent or something. They're paying like a massive amount for X. Ballista for 5, geez. Okay, so they attack for 5 right now. They can deal 5 at a whim. So 5, this cruise for 2. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20. I am dead if I don't draw Ancient Grudge right now. Or some removal for at least one of these attacking creatures. That wasn't it. We're dead. Yeah, the Trinisphere, real good. Turn 1 3-ball. Still good in Vintage. Game 3. I get to be on the play this time though, so that's a game changer, dynamic changer. The Citadel on the play, I guess that is where I want to have it if I'm going to have it. But I just think it's bad. Like, I just don't think that belongs in the deck at all. So I am going to bring in the Mindbreak Trap and hope to get ahead, get a little breathing room to assemble my combos. So this hand has a turn 2 Twister, and it has Helm but no Leyline. Balance is not bad against shops. I am going to mulligan this though. This isn't really where I wanted to be either. Hullbreacher doesn't do much. Ancient Grudge is one of my best cards. Keeping a 1-lander against shops always is really suspicious. Also not even close to a combo of either kind. This hand has turn 1 Karn. There we go. There we go. Alright, bottom Toxic Deluge, and it's got to be Voidwalker, I guess. Done. Alright, Tomb, Crypt, Karn. Let's check out the sideboard. Is there anything I want to wish for right away? Pithing Needle, I could name Wasteland. Yeah, I think I actually like that. Wish for a Needle, name Wasteland. Wasteland. Alright, let's go. My Ancient Grudge, I actually have the correct mocks to cast it. They have a shop, so they're probably going to name Karn with this, but naming Ruby would be pretty clever. Yeah. Confirmed. So now it's a race of Mana Crypt versus my deck. Oh, okay. So I can play Painter. I'm going to paint everything white, I think. And then I can Grudge this and wish for Grindstone. Alright, it's all in play. Go. Did we finally win a match? Is it done? That was turn 2, by the way. Not bad. Welcome to Vintage. Yeah, we did it. Turn 2 victory. Finally on the board. Won a match. So this deck went 1-4. Obviously, you saw it happen. This is very much a mess of colors. There were a lot of times we couldn't cast our spells. Like at the beginning of the deck tech, I said I was excited that this is sort of a multicolor build of Monte. Like you get the wheels and the twisters and the tutors and stuff. I mean, in the mono black version, you get the tutors anyway. I really just think that this is better as a mono black deck. Having now played the goofball, like many color version, I think if you just play your Urborgs, play your shops, play the painters, the grindstones, you get Voidwalker now, that's a good one. And play some disruptive elements, like put your own Trinispheres in the deck, because most of your cards don't care about it. And you get to be sort of a mono black shops kind of thing. You get a lot more stability. I would definitely rather be doing that after having tried it this way. But this was fun. We had some explosive turns, some exciting games, and we did not lose every match, which is really what I'm going for when I queue in with a goofball deck. So, Jacob, thank you for asking me to play this deck. It was a lot of fun. I don't mind the low victory count. Clean it up, cut some colors. Maybe you don't need the red. If you still want blue, maybe you could figure out how to leave Ancestral Recall and Tinker in the deck, because I think those are good enough. But maybe just a blue-black deck. Get rid of this other shit. Mystic Confluence can become Underground Sea, or Mana Confluence and Gemstone Mine can become like Underground Sea at that point, and at least it saves you damage. So that's what I would do. Everyone, if you have lines I missed that could have won games, especially if you figure out how I could have won that Hogak matchup, please let me know in the comments. If you have ideas how to improve this list, let those fly in the comments as well. While you're here, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.